Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph, this is Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is the infamous by now Kingdom Management screen. We have a bunch of more events going on. Let's take a look. The Artisan's Loss is one that we cannot solve at the moment. Let's see, Defender of the Forest, a Druid Fanatic and a Defender of the Forest has appeared in the Kingdom. We could send Jaital there as well. Oh, no success chance whatsoever, okay. And Harem only has 40%, that's not a lot. The Gambler, a gambling fae, came to the region again, so we're gonna have to send Jaital over there. Let's send Jaital there, let's give Harem a little bit of chance here. Then we can rank up the Minister once more and we can scout the eastern regions. We don't have anyone to scout it with, so guess that solves the issue. We also, we could do the Royal Hunting Grounds, but what is everyone doing actually? Okay, so we still have 73 days left without Icondaio, 28 days without Jubilost. There's a bunch of events going on. Let's see if we can rank up someone. Let's see who's available. The Counselor is available. The Magister is available as well. Would be interesting to rank up Octavia actually. Because it's one of the lower... It is the lowest stat at the moment, Arcane, so yes, let's just rank up Octavia here. Arcane has reached rank 3, that is good. Valerie recruited the people for a hunt. Our pathfinders tracked the wolves to their lairs and killed them all. Turns out that a bloodthirsty warg had formed a whole wolf army. His head and skin have made a fine decoration for the town hall, and it's already a symbol of pride for the people. Community +6 and military +1. Pamphlets mocking the people's indolence worked. The hedonic teachings came to an end. Culture +3. Our priests went into the woods to persuade the druid to abandon his violent path, but their efforts were in vain. He continues his struggle, wreaking havoc across the region. -4 community, -3 divine. That's not that great. Let's see, we can strengthen the storyteller's skills as a Magister. Okay. Large group of fugitive slaves from Rasmussen approach the border. There are numerous craftsmen and artisans among them. Will they find safe refuge here? This sounds like something Tristian will take care of. Definitely, since he always takes care of the people. Last Wall's Cavalry. A light-fingered administrator in Last Wall is prepared to sell a herd of excellent war horses. The Minister is not here at the moment. Some foreign treasure hunters found an amazing artifact at a dig site. It would be nice to obtain, but how? Let's send the storyteller to that one. We could send Jaital, but you know. Our Magister is asking for an audience, okay. Let's have Tristian take care of this one, and then let's see, Jaital is back in 6 days. Alright, let's first see what our Magister wants, and wait a minute. The artisan's loss. The same talented artisan that had taken up residence. Ah, okay, yes. So we can do that with Valerie. Alright, that's fine. Let's head to the throne room for a moment. Her Smilodon is back to his old ways of shoving its ass into my face. You can't train these beasts, it's unbelievable. I have news! More and more mages come to our capital every day, and it seems a small mage quarter is forming around the artifact appraiser. There's new bookshops, new alchemy labs, and now we even have an illusionist parlor. That woman can conjure up more dresses and makeup and hairstyles than you could imagine. Perfect for an evening out, just remember to get back home before the spell wears off. However, there is a darker side to this expansion. A necromancer from Gap is looking to set up shop in our domain. He wishes to raise undead servants and rent them out as cheap labor. In his homeland, skeletons till the fields, cut down trees and mine ore. While elsewhere around the world, necromancy is strictly forbidden. For in order to animate a dead body, one must snip off a small fragment of the soul that once resided within it. Our guest asks you for a license. In return, he promises to supply us with a fresh batch of workers. Just thinking about it makes me sick. He vows to only use those who sign a contract while they're still alive, selling their own bodies away for a few gold coins. However, I've little doubt that this will lead to all sorts of trouble. First, enterprising citizens will buy shovels and develop the habit of paying nightly visits to the graveyard. Then beggars and orphans will start disappearing from the streets. No, Grand Blackforge, we cannot allow this to happen. Oh man, if I was playing like an evil character, this would get a license immediately. I forbid this necromancer from practicing his dark arts in my realm. Now I have to say, I am, you know, a druid, and druids don't really like the undead very much, since it kind of negates the regular cycle of life and death, so not going to happen in my realm. Wonderful, I hope this vulture will leave the capital for good as soon as I deliver him the news. Community +2, loyalty +2, divine +3, arcane -3. Alright. Sherelle with an extra planar cloak. Okay, so what I want to do now is take Nok-Nok along for a little stroll. Let's see what's up with his hat and demons, and I don't know what's going on there. We're at the Goblin Clearing where they had their shrines. Oh. Nok-Nok looks around, uncertain. You don't see anyone, no goblin shapes about, no sign of a goblin camp either. Something feels wrong. There's a strange feel in the air and that hint of sulfur like you smelled on Nok-Nok's cap in the throne room. Nok-Nok speaks. This is the place, but King is not here yet. Nok-Nok sounds slightly relieved, but he's still ready to bolt. Something isn't right. Nok-Nok nods, and as he does, you suddenly notice the surrounding melt away into trails of acrid smoke, revealing a number of goblins, weapons at the ready. Still, while their weapons are drawn, they do not attack. They have a curious light in their eyes you haven't seen before. Takes you a second to realize its determination. They don't look scared at all, merely stand at the ready as if awaiting the command to attack. There we go. As you take in your new opponents, a familiar figure emerges from the tree line, but walking strangely as if fighting the urge to hunch down on all fours, almost feral. The figure looks to be the Goblin King, you recall, but something is wrong about him. It's like someone tried to cram a larger creature into his skin. Tufts of fur like that of a wolf peek from his rags, and his eyes, rather than dull and soft, seem to hold cold fire in them. Nok-Nok. This isn't the king. This is something that looks like him. The king approaches, then stops, his face peeling back in an almost demonic smile. This is not the king, but some creature wearing his shape. The king gazes at you, and you feel your scalp rise. As he speaks, his voice is rasp, like knives being dragged across metal plate. Ooh. Which of you was once ruled by this ragged shape I wear? The sooner your blood coats the ground, the sooner my dead hair is done. All you cattle smell alike to me, whether you walk or roast on a skewer. It's definitely a Barghest. Demon looks like a goblin. You know, like this one. I'm a Barghest. I was summoned at the behest of a fae to defeat an ally of one who claims this land, weakening this false king when the time of reckoning draws near. He nods at Nok-Nok and gives a barking laugh. She said it could be any I chose, so I chose the weakest one at your court, if only to fulfill my debt all the quicker and leave this wretched place. The price was that I had to take the shape of this humiliation. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. You've been tricked. This is a fight you can't win. This we will find out soon enough, false king. Then you'll return from whence you came, because we're not letting you kill anyone. I was told you are to be left for her, I care not why, but should you cross me, I've been given leave to slay you as well. It seems she wishes you to suffer longer than this one. For the Fae and those of my kind, that will prove a much longer time than your flesh can withstand. The king turns to Nok-Nok. Come, goblin, the sooner I make a sport of you, the sooner I will allow you to die. Perhaps with your limbs intact. I've heard enough. I'll deal with you myself. As you leap to attack, the Barghest gives a howl, and the surrounding creatures charge you and Nok-Nok, echoing the Barghest howl. Alright, Smilodon, let's have you charge the king over there. And then let's see what happens. I'm quite curious. I could transform into something, actually. I haven't done that many times. Small fire elemental. Call a lightning storm. That sounds fun. Let's call a lightning storm on the king over there. Oh, the king is already almost dead. Aw, that's a pity. Let's go, Grenn. Well, That was disappointing. At least we grabbed a bunch of stuff from them. Oh, he has cookery. Okay, that's good for Nok-Nok, I guess. Nok-Nok wants another word.
Where now?
Well, we're heading back to the capital now, and then we can talk some more. We are back in the capital. We need Jaital for that one. She's still out for 2 more days. We can rank up Magister once more. And there is an arcane lobby. Let's see. Cost of buildings with static arcane bonus. Academy, Alchemist, Laboratory, Exotic Garden, Library, Mage Tower, Magic Shop, Magical Academy, Netis's Academy, Netis's Library, the Pathfinder Lodge and the University are reduced by 10%. That would be interesting if we were planning to build some more stuff, but I'm not quite sure. Like, our capital is a city, and I think we've upgraded all the villages that we could, probably. No? Maybe there is... Yeah, no, maybe once we have taken over another region, we'll have another village. And then we can create a 3rd town. Yeah, that makes sense. But still, whether it's useful to do this one, I don't know. Region claims and upgrades cost 15% less. That is something that we could still do. Trade agreement with Daggermark, probably not. Yeah, let's do this easier claims one. Let's put Lindsay on that one. That is fine. Nok-Nok doesn't look up at your approach. He's hunched over, hard in thought. One of his ears is even twitching slightly at the effort. Nok-Nok, something wrong? Been thinking about being a hero, if Nok-Nok can even be a hero or not. You are Longshanks and Halfshanks who speak poorly, mangled words, baits. But you make big tribe, found nation, build big city. Even if city smells bad, do great things, and Nok-Nok does things and they seem small, ridiculous. I want to do what you do, but asking how? You've been more than a hero and you've proved it. You've dealt with the mighty Munguk, saved your tribe, erected great temples of Lamashtu and survived the Goblin King twice and won. At your words, Nok-Nok straightens, inch by inch, until he's standing tall. He holds in his breath proudly, until you see his ears turn red and he exhales, coughing. But when his fit ends, he seems to be chewing over your words and nodding to himself. A hero can be many things, and even heroes doubt themselves. Have faith. Simply don't give up. That's hero enough. And even I can see it. You mean it? Nok-Nok proved self? Kneel, Nok-Nok. I pronounce you hero of the kingdom. Congratulations. Nok-Nok kneels down, winces as his knee finds a rock, then shifts to a new position, accidentally facing away from you. Do you decide to let it go? Nok-Nok, I pronounce you hero of the kingdom, the hold of Blackforge, hero of the stolen lands, and grant you a title that can never be taken from you. That of fellow hero to Grenn Blackforge. Rise. Oh, we've created a monster now. I accept. Now all I needed is a hero statue. Being a hero doesn't give you access to the treasury, by the way. I don't have the funds or time to make a statue. Nok-Nok seems lost in thought, completely happy at your acknowledgement of his role. You hope you don't regret this. I probably am. Are all the Lamashtu shrines down? All down, easier to knock down than they were to build up. I hope Mother not upset with me, with us. If so, worry beasts will find us. Right. That was Nok-Nok's quest. Let's sell some random stuff and then head back to the kingdom management. Right, so we have... Let's see, we have one task that Chetal can take care of, but we need 5 more days. So is there something? Probably not. Oh, there might be actually. 7 days. Yeah, let's get that done. That should complete, I think, another requirement for the kingdom building, maybe? Or is it only the second one? I'm not sure. In any case, in 7 days, Chetal is gonna be back. There we go, the gambler was found in a ditch near one of the taverns, his throat cut and his pockets empty. All his winnings went to the treasury. She doesn't screw around, does she? Damn, espionage +3 and 50 BP, thank you. The kingdom's troops located the slavers' camp and our soldiers destroyed the evildoers and freed the slaves. Military +4. And then, so we can send Chetal here. Troubled lands, that is something for the general once again, and this is also for the general. Okay, so let's have Chetal take care of this, but it's super low actually. 40%. Yeah, it's gonna have to do. So is it possible to get one of these done on time? Probably not. The sea dragons, followers of Abadar who guard ship trade, are planning a raid on the river kingdoms to teach the river pirates a lesson. Will any of the kingdom's advisors be able to use this raid to their advantage? So it's Ikundayu or Rigongar. And the Troubled Lands one is Tristian or Rigongar. When is Tristian back? Tristian is back in 6 days, so he could take care of that one actually. 6 days. Yeah, we cannot take care of this. We could actually just skip 6 days, that should be no problem, and then deal with those 2 events. Probably we're gonna get some more events once we pass the halfway point. I don't want to go, although if I take if I rank up someone, that's 14 days. That would be the 29th. That should still be okay, I guess. Yeah, that should still be okay. Let's see if we can rank someone. We could rank up the general. That was something that I wanted to do anyway. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. General, so the military has reached rank 7. That's great. Valerie appealed to the people, entreating their help in locating the masterpiece. Alas, the missing item was nowhere to be found, but it was good for the people to unite around a common goal. Community +4, espionage +1, economy +1. The fugitives thanked the messengers from the king, but didn't consider Crawford's shelter safe enough. They continued onward, seeking a safer place as far from Razmir's minions as possible. Okay. The storyteller persuaded our treasure hunters to hand over the unique discovery. After all, it's an integral part of the land's cultural heritage. Culture +3. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of. The minister tried to make a questionable deal with the corrupt administrator, but a scoundrel got cold feet at the last moment. The deal fell through. Okay, but we still got espionage +1, so I mean that's still okay. We have coins with our face on them. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Claiming regions and upgrades costs 15% less. That is great as well. And now, let's see, these troubled lands. Yes, Tristian could deal with those. Rigongar can deal with the sea dragons. A traveling circus arrived from Katapesh, full of performers with amazing skills and striking freaks. They've been everywhere during their travels and have much further to go. They possess fresh rumors and the most amazing tricks. They could be useful for the kingdom. That sounds like storyteller material indeed. Ooh. A notorious assassin from Daggermark has taken a contract on the king's head. An open challenge to a duel is not a likely result. An arrow in the back or a goblet full of poison, however. This has to be Jaital. Why is the success percentage so low? That sucks. What if we put... Yeah, that doesn't do very much, does it? Kinda have to put Jaital on that one. And then we have River Gold. Jubilus is available to take care of that as well, yes. Okay, so let's divide our troops. Tristian is gonna take care of the troubled lands. Rigongar is gonna take care of the sea dragons. The storyteller is gonna take care of the circus. 55% only, but has to be good enough. Jaital is gonna take care of the contract. 40% chance. Man, we really need to get that espionage up a lot higher. And then Juby to take care of the River Gold. There we go, start that event and then check out what our general wants in the throne room. I have an idea I'd like to share with you. I'm sure it's occurred to you that we are now in control. We're the power everyone answers to, and not only in the stolen lands. We demand respect. And those worthy of respect are worthy of doing business with, profitable business. Anyway, 3 representatives of dealers in life and death have requested an audience with you. All 3 are willing to support our army. Talk to them and decide which of them we want to sign a contract with. However, we can't hire all 3. Each of them wants to be your main weapon supplier. And if I were you, I'd consider the Arcanum. Arcanum, but I want to do deals with a dwarf, actually, as a dwarf. I should talk to their ambassadors. Which of the 3? Let's talk to the dwarf. Wodga, the priest of Kyrgyz, an unusually tall and sturdy dwarf with a shaved head, bows to you. Despite the weather, his feet are bare, and he's wearing a simple vest over his naked torso. His mighty but pleasant voice fills the entire hall. Greetings, your highness, I'm Wodga, priest of the glorious god Kyrgyz. I believe it was not by coincidence that the road brought me and my comrades to your lands. How can you help my army? Your soldiers are brave but weak. By the will of Kyrgyz, we'll sort out your pathetic forces. My priests know how to strengthen a soldier with magic that will give them the power and speed of a mighty animal. And if that fails to protect them, our prayers will heal your warriors and restore them to perfect fighting form. Tell me about your god. Kyrgyz was a Taldan villager of remarkable figure. He traveled around towns, visited trade fairs, and took part in every competition and show, and always won. It's only natural that everybody was jealous. His rivals set a trap for him during a competition. He died, giving his life to protect the other participants, but his glory lived on even after his death. Few mortals are deemed worthy of joining the godly host, and Kyrgyz was one of them. Well, that's a cool story. What's your church? Our church is young and we don't have an established hierarchy yet. We wander from town to town, healing the diseased, mentoring the weak and the sick, teaching them how to harness their own powers, inspiring those who are able to reach beyond their own boundaries. We do not build temples, for we believe our bodies are the temples. A tent in a field is all we need. That's a pretty cool god, actually. It disgusts Kyrgyz when people cripple themselves. So we reject alcohol and stupefying potions. I shall prohibit these among your soldiers. The spirit grows stronger in a mighty body. Kyrgyz dislikes foul play, so cheating is also illegal. Oh, well, but we actually have given potions to the soldiers already, so I need to think it over. Let's talk to the halfling in black. The halfling standing before you wears fine black cashmere. He has a couple of strange-looking palm-sized crossbows on his waistband. His expensive attire does nothing to disguise the scars on his face and hands, or his sturdy posture. Your guest seems more accustomed to sitting in the saddle and wearing traveling clothes, rather than visiting palaces wearing expensive attire. Greetings, Your Highness. I'm Captain Romulo. I represent the Smoky Dawn Arms Factory in the Grand Duchy of Alkenstar. Our enterprise is prepared to provide your army with the finest weapons ever made. Alkenstar, that's the one with the guns, right? In the Pathfinder world? No? Not 100% sure, but what exactly do you have to offer? We will provide your soldiers with our weapons, teach them how to use them, and make sure the weapons are working. Believe me, each bolt shot by our crossbows will cost the enemy an equal amount in gold. I should make clear from the beginning, we're not selling the technology. Your engineers won't be permitted to repair the weapons. They're to be handled exclusively by our specialists. However, if you're interested in any of our non-weapon technologies, our craftsmen will gladly train yours. What makes you think I'd prefer your odd toys over time-honored magic? Because you're smart, Your Highness. Firstly, our toys are way safer and their failure is far less dangerous than magic cost Ori. Secondly, anyone with an eye and two hands can use our weapons. That makes things a bit simpler for you, doesn't it? Tell me about the weapon in your waistband. So you'd like to know how they operated? What gears bring these small dead machines to life? How can they rain bolts upon the enemy without ever recharging? That's a secret. We make our living from other people's ignorance on how our weapons work. Nevertheless, I will tell you a secret about these two crossbows of mine. The left one is for normal work. I use it to kill bandits and thieves spying on our secrets. It's loaded with ordinary bolts. The right one is for special occasions. Each of the bolts bears the name of a rascal who wronged me or my family. When the right one is empty, my travels on Golarion will end and I will return to Alkenstar and find myself something else to do. Oh, that's really cool. That would be a really cool character to play in a campaign, actually. Like someone who has a bunch of bolts, like one for each specific enemy. That would be a really cool character. I might steal that idea. Yeah, that sounds really good, actually. Tell me about your motherland. Where is it? We don't hear about it often here in our domain. Alkenstar is halfway around the world. You see, magic, how can I put this? It doesn't work in our lands. Don't ask me why. That's a question for the researchers and historians. But we ordinary people of Alkenstar managed to turn this nuisance to the greater good. We gave up magic for the sake of science. No country can compare to Alkenstar in terms of its technological miracles. We didn't just survive, we're doing very well here, where a mage could never endure. We are willing to share our findings with anyone willing to pay a fair price. Alright, and then let's talk to the last fella, the sorceress. A sturdy, middle-aged woman in practical grey attire bows to you. You can tell by the numerous strings and laces on her neck that she's wearing quite a number of amulets under her robe. Her hair is short and cropped. First Foreman Rakilata at your service, Your Highness. Reporting for negotiations on behalf of the Wands Brigade, graduates of the Arcanum. What do I have to offer to my troops? Our experience, you're hiring the Wands Brigade, an independent squad of mages, not merely as soldiers but as advisors and trainers for your other troops. Each of us not only possesses magic but also has extensive combat experience. What's more important, we know when and how to use it. We're not theoreticians or professors, Your Highness. We're arcane practitioners, combat specialists, and frontline workers. We're willing to share our knowledge with your military mages. Your title is very unusual. Every member of our brigade is an Arcanum graduate. We each have combat experience and a desire to build a mercenary career. We've been preparing to accept your orders since we entered the Wands Brigade. What is this Arcanum so famous for? It's the oldest, biggest, and the most prestigious arcane academy in Absalom. It's very influential. Students come from all over the world to master the art of magic. Mind you, the school is tuition free. Oh, nice. They teach both magic and practical skills, both of which are certainly useful to combat mages. For instance, if you've learned to summon enraged monsters, it might also be a good idea to learn to run fast. Let's see. You should think fast. What if an enemy assault takes us by surprise and we've got no reinforcement, huh? Who should I make the deal with? With the mages, of course. Have you seen them fight? Now, that's what I call a massacre. Fireballs hurling, ice crunching, swoosh, bang. They can rip a soul right out of your body and use it as a bomb. Kaboom! Bony shrapnel flying everywhere, blood in everyone's eyes, and then they jump into the shadows, spread out, sneak behind the enemy's lines to finish the survivors. They surround them, cover them in a force field, and create a little explosion on the inside. Don't forget the roaring flame. All that's left is ashes and footprints on the scorched earth. Well, that's one way to sell a mercenary company. I'm sold. I'm impressed with Arcanum's power. I'd like its graduates to train our mages. You can get a decent education in Arcanum. They don't just teach the books, but also show your legs and how to use your legs and hold a weapon. The result is a well-rounded warrior. Military +5. All right. That was a cool choice, actually. And I kind of liked all three of them, to be honest. You do remember our little adventure with the Fey Lords in the inconsequent debates? Yes, I remember you turning into a frog or something. Before you ask, by damn them I meant both the debates and their lords. Anyway, I've been thinking about that dreadful verbiage we received as a reward for the trials. The answer to that question about the fate of the gnome race. Allow me to remind you of the text. Numbers will help you on your way. One of them is 5th in 10. It will be easy to find if you read who opened the road for the ancient dead man and his black-feathered messenger. So that we did, actually. The second is 12 times in a dozen and is thrice the number of those who lost their faces. Those are the three witches that we dealt with the barbarians. Don't try to guess it now, it's not yet time. Wait until he who was born twice will twice be defeated. That was Armag. Put the numbers together when the moon leaves her path near the waters of the Candlemere. Find the one who will open the secret. Not a single reasonable creature would spend valuable time solving this sort of phrasements. If only someone knew how much effort it required to treat the matter seriously, but it paid off. It's obvious that the part about opened the road for the ancient dead man and his black-feathered messenger refers to Willis Gunderson, who awakened Mordecai. This led me to think. Obviously, that part about he who was born twice will twice be defeated referred to Armag. Exactly, we couldn't have known that at the time of the debates because we hadn't even met Armag yet. Which makes me wonder who this respected host might be, but that's neither here nor there. So what do we know? The riddle recommends we start looking after the twice born is twice defeated, and that's happened. The other part tries the number of those who lost their faces. That's also only clear now. It's 24, 3 times the number of defaced sisters there were. But the rest, what does it mean? When the moon leaves her path. And how does 12 times in a dozen equate to 24? I'll have to study some astronomy references books and write to some priests of Desna that I'm acquainted with. It's probably about some rare celestial phenomenon. I meant to ask you to deal with the first part of the riddle, the one about Willis Gunderson. Remember the riddle? We don't need to find him or talk to him, just read him. Here's what I think it means. I discovered that the poor fellow wrote and published a few horrendous books. Perhaps the answer is hidden in one of them. The very thought of digging through the parody of literature is disgusting. I very much appreciate some help. Perhaps some book lover in this city will have a volume or two of this work. Alright, I will look for Gunderson's books and try to make some sense of them. Good luck on this difficult quest. I remind you, the riddle says we need to find something 5th in 10 and somehow related to Gunderson's writing. We put it together with the number 24 and go to the Candlemere when the moon leaves her pot. I hope this isn't some elaborate fey prank, because if it is, I won't have to do any more research to understand what makes gnomes leave the first world. It was their stinking neighbors. Alright, we got some more gifts. We've spoken to the general, we've spoken to Jubilust, and there is another rank up opportunity for the general. Let's see, should we just take that opportunity actually? Military is at 7 right now. Oh no, the general is busy. Yeah, that's right. All right. Trading grounds, nope. I think Ikundayo is still working. Yeah, so when is that contract up? That's 20 days. Okay. So, are we gonna do some other curse stuff? We could village on the marshes. We could do Tristian. And we could do Armag, 60 days, 90 days, 45 and 45. Okay, so let's send Harem on David Nettle's curse. Send Octavia to take care of the village on the marshes. There we go. And then if someone is available, oh, the regent is available, community. Grand Diplomat is available as well. I feel like the Grand Diplomat would be a good choice. Let's see, that's to increase relations. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's have us take care of that. Alright, so we have relations reaching rank 4. We also reached our kingdom requirement of increasing the stats 40 times. Now we have to increase the stats another 20 times. And like I said earlier, I would really like to focus on espionage and military to make sure that if we get into a war with Patax, I don't know how that's going to be dealt with, but I want to be ready for that. The attack from the Bald Hilltop is expected in 2 weeks. All right. Jubilust engaged the best engineers of the kingdom in solving the problem, and together they developed an automaton for waterway gold extraction. Once more, loyalty -2, but economy and economy +4, stability +2. Let's see, allows faster rank ups, reducing the time required by half. Rank, oh really? Oh, that is amazing. How long does that take? 14 days. Yeah, that's amazing. That's something we're gonna grab immediately. Let's see, trade taxes once more. That's for Jubilost. The mercenary army. One of the neighboring rulers is in a difficult situation. He faces war, but he has no means to wage it. He asks that you provide him with soldiers for his mercenary army. Of course, the pay he offers is generous. But are our soldiers' lives worth only gold? Is it worth the risk to make our country more vulnerable by sending our soldiers to fight for someone else? Okay. Doppelganger on the throne. Tension is growing in the region. Rumor has it that a doppelganger sits upon the throne. The rabble are ready to grab their weapons, overthrow the false ruler, and liberate the true king. This madness must be stopped before they devastate the country with their good intentions. That is definitely something Valerie is going to take care of. Only 10%. What's going on with these percentages all of a sudden? These difficulties are increasing quite a lot, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna need to put Valerie on that one. Trade tax. How long does this one take? That's 14 days. That's still enough time to get... oh, that's not the one I wanted. Grand Diplomat wants to talk to me. Yeah, that's fine. The mercenary army. Rigongar. When is Rigongar back? That shouldn't take very long. 6 days. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk to Lindsay, and then we are probably gonna end the episode. Grand Blackforge, we've arrested a strange man. He was making a map of our rivers and bays. Upon his capture, he shouted that he serves the Black Marquis and was sent to create a map of the local trade routes. But pirates are full of guile, and this map might be used not for trade but for raids. What are we going to do with him, being that he's admittedly serving another king? The most important thing now is to appear strong and influential. If we demonstrate our military power, the pirates will be afraid to face us. Even better, we should show them our riches. Whether or not the story about trade routes is a tale, we can't let the Black Marquis wonder if he'd be better off if he were our friend. We're just gonna show the strength of the army. Show him how strong our army is. They'd better not cross swords with us. Well, maybe it's better we have no business with them. Who knows how much blood there would be on the wares and gold. Military +3. There we go. Chemo with another gift. Terval with another gift. Can you make me something special? Let's see. Shiny at a tulip. Oh, most worthy one, I spend day and night listening to the stories that guests of my workshop bring to share. I decided to sort those stories and put them into two baskets, one for stories from local peasants and hunters, and another one for stories of travelers from faraway lands. Surprised I was to see that the first basket stays empty all the time, while the other is almost full. While I was thinking about it, I took a walk in the forest, and I meant to jump over the forest stream, and being as how my mind was all distracted by my great basket mystery, I accidentally jumped too high and into the upper branches of a tall oak. And there they were, the stories that had been stolen from the first basket, all hidden in a magpie's nest. Say what now? Sitting on the oak branches, I asked the magpies why they stole from the basket of local stories and never touched the other, and the magpies told me that they love everything that's shiny and bright. And what could be shinier and brighter than your fellow neighbors discussing how they went to the stream to wash their clothes or repaired their fence 3 years ago? Surely not the dusty stories of weary travelers. Ask yourself, O worthy one, why I told you this story, and this is your answer. I have reforged the story into the gift which I present you now, the Eye of the Tornado. Okay. There's always a lot of text involved with shiny-headed tulip. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of this episode. As always, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along, and I will see you in a next episode.